do plan on going live when the actual like the actual awards start happening. So if you want to see my reactions as I'm live watching the awards, then by all means tune in on December 11th. And I do plan on being live. What date does that fall in? December 11th. What day does that fall? Oh, perfect. It falls on a Thursday. It's right in the money for news for news coverage. So we'll be watching it on Thursday. And depending on what time the show actually starts, we might do the news recap before, or we might do it after. We'll see how it goes. Fun fact: Vedinad decided to not be part of the nominations for Games of the Year. They did not. Danny Dev and Venidad, they decided not to be a part of the nominees. They decided, or was this something that he just didn't end up being one of the nominees? I didn't know you could just say, "Hey, no, don't include me." All right, but let's go ahead and vote. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see. Start voting. Okay. Oh, starting off with the main one, Game of the Year. Okay, so Game of the Year, we have Death Stranding 2. We have Player Obscure 33, Expedition 33, which you already know I really love this game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, although I have not played it, I've heard really nice things, especially from those that love Nintendo and those that play a lot in the Switch game. This is said to be like back to Donkey Kong's prime, so it seems like a really good game. Hades 2, I know a lot of people love Hades. Hades making that comeback, and then Hollow Knight, Silk Song, also amazing that this is here. These two were undoubtedly, like I would say, like these three were undoubtedly gonna be on the list, right? If they weren't, I would have been heavily surprised. But these three being here, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I've been told a good amount of like good news about this game, so I'm also not surprised that it's here. So let's see. I mean, I already know my vote, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, my vote is Expedition 33. But I am curious to see how all these games, except Donkey Kong Bonanza, because I cannot get the Nintendo games information. But other than that, we'll see how these games are faring in their jam value. So let's go first with Hades 2. So, okay, actually, we'll go from left to right. Let's go with Expedition 33. So Expedition 33, which I definitely expected to be down now, especially since it's a single-player game. It's still in 30th place overall in the market, so still really good. I'm seeing an increase here at the end in the last last 7 days, last month. Okay, so it seems like it has increased in the last couple of days. This might be because it got nominated. This might be like after because I believe the nominations came out before you could vote. How long has the nominations come out? Let me see. How long has it been since? No, I guess they just nominated right now. So it might not be because of that. It might be because the Game Awards are coming up, or because in the Grammys they also it came. Oh wait, no, it had the controversy where people were complaining that, including myself, that it was not included in the Grammys. So I know that there's been a lot of talk about Expedition 33 recently, and with the Game Awards coming up, I'm not surprised that it's getting a bit of a boost. But before this, right, before the nominees were out, it was seeing roughly 65 gems on average, 60 gems on average. And now, recently, it's been going up. This month, it's been going up, and now it's gone up to, right now, it's in 83 gems is the highest it's gone recently, but it's currently an 81 gem, a score of 81 gems, which is really good. Its average gem score overall for its entirety of its lifespan is roughly 110 gems, but its highest peak is 417 gems. Really good performance. Once again, I love Expedition 33. I cannot give its praises any more than I have. It's for me, the moment I played it, the moment I passed the story, everything I interacted with, was just so like so good for this game. What's the second smaller line? This one right here, this dash. This is just giving you the average gem score over time, right? So right now, on average, the average gem score is going up with its value going up. But this is just giving you the average of the gem score throughout time. And you can see it here. You know, it kind of tries to keep track with how it's performing. And over here is where I was telling you, like, it's seeing roughly 60 gems. You can see it in the top number right there. So yeah, so this is the average. It's a new line that I added where it shows you the average gem score of that game over time, not just the actual gem score that it has that exact day. Because when we see a lot of fluctuations in the gems, we want to know what's the average. So that's what that is. Better visualization for people who visit the website. And once again, average gem score of 110 in its entire lifespan, and a peak gem score of 417 in its entire lifespan. So this is all great value. Great game. Love this game. So next game, let's take a look at, what was it? Death Stranding? That's the next one. Okay, let's see if I have. Death Stranding. I only have the first game, so I have Director's Cut. I do not have the second game. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Hades. Let's go with Hades 2, which I was about to pull up earlier. Hades 2 is currently in 309th place in the entire gaming market right now. And if we look at its performance in the last 3 months, which, you know, it's not actually this 3 months, it's when it released roughly around here in September. We can kind of see, yeah, we gotta keep it there. We can kind of see that its peak value was 62.19 gems. I expected this score to be way higher than it is, if I'm being completely honest. But a lot of people have been playing this game, not just in PC. They have been playing it a lot in like consoles and Switch specifically. A lot of people were playing Hades 2 on the Switch. So I think it was also included in the Game Pass. If I'm not mistaken, it was included in the Game Pass with Xbox. So they probably, a lot of people played this game through other means and not through a computer, which is why I'm seeing such a low score. Because I know that Hades 2 was performing really well. A lot of people were really loving the game. So that's what I'm expecting. I expected it to have a higher average. Yeah, exactly. We can see that its average was kind of picking up here, but since the score kind of went down afterwards, because after Hades 2 came out, I'm not surprised that it has dipped a lot, honestly, because I haven't heard much out of Hades 2 after its release. Right? There's been so many really good games that have been releasing, but I feel like I heard way more movement and a lot more excitement when the first Hades came out compared to Hades 2. So like I haven't been hearing too many people talk about it compared to how much people loved Hades 1. Not to say that it's a bad iteration to the genre, but it's that I think it's suffering through the sequel kind of curse, where the second game in the franchise usually doesn't perform as well as the first game. And I think that's what we're seeing here. So don't doubt that it's still a pretty good game. It just doesn't seem to hit as good as the original, which if we take a look, we can see that the original currently stands at, well, roughly the same amount as Hades 2, it seems. It's actually doing better than Hades 2. So we can see that Hades 2 is in 39th place. You can see that right here. And we can see that Hades 1, the original Hades, is currently in 287th place. So it's currently scoring higher than Hades 2. Once again, Hades 1, really good game. The story was really good. The characters are all very lovable. Maybe I don't doubt that Hades 2 is also really good. but maybe it just didn't hit as hard as the first Hades. There's also that novelty factor from Hades 1. So overall, Hades right now seeing an average of roughly six gems, and seeing roughly that average over time. Meanwhile, that compared to Hades 2, which is currently seeing an average of, what is it right now? Oh, it's 6. They're seeing roughly the same average score. They're seeing the same average score, and this average score is kind of being held down by its early access, and that's why we're seeing such a low overall average score because of the early access. But this right now, it's currently on a 7 gem average, which is similar numbers to that of Hades 1 right now. So not as great as I would have expected for Hades, but still pretty decent, pretty good. Once again, just maybe they don't live up to the first game's reputation. Next, the one we all love, we all been waiting for, Hollow Knight Silksong. So we can see that Hollow Knight Silksong on release reached roughly 81 gems, although this is like a week after release. So this value is a little bit shorter. Let me see if I can find. Let me see here. Did I already check, like manually calculate Silksong's OG score when it came out? I did not. So I would have to add that later on. But pretty much, Silksong, after release, after the hype was already, calming down, it saw a peak of 80 gems, and it overall has maintained that popularity pretty close. You thought I was gonna say 6, 7? No. We can see here that Silksong has seen better performance than Hades 2 in keeping its popularity and keeping its gem score. For the start of Silksong. All right, because Silksong. Okay, so that's why we don't have start data. So the start data for Silksong is because the Steam servers were down, and then everything went down for those few days that Silksong came out. So I wasn't able to actually like get that data when when Silksong came out. So that's why we're seeing these values. There's definitely some values I'd be able to calculate beforehand that would probably be higher. I would assume would be higher. Maybe reaching more the 150 to 200 range. I don't expect it to reach 1,000, a score of 1,000 or anything like that. But I definitely expect it to be way higher than what we're currently seeing right now. But overall, from what I currently have, and we can double check this later, it has its gem score of 81.8 gems as a peak, which we see right here, 81.85. And then it maintained its average. It currently has an average of 15.45 gems, and currently has a score of similar to Hades, which is what to be expected for a indie game. And the hype has already slowed down a little bit. A lot of people have already passed the game, and it's now basically the niche community that Hollow Knight has always had is now the only ones that continue to play the game. So it's normal for it to go down. So now it's seeing roughly 4.3 gems, but its average is still roughly 6.7 gems as of like right now. So it's still doing good. It's still doing really great, performing overall better than I would say performing overall better than Hades 2 and who the other one? Performing overall better than Hades 2. But Clair Obscur still being in 30th place. It's in 65th place. Silksong. So it has gone down. It's prime because a lot of people have already passed the game and already played all of it. So I kind of expected that to be the case. How is Hollow Knight doing? Its counterpart. Hollow Knight seems to be doing way better though. Hollow Knight is currently in 133rd place. and we can see that it had its highest spike when it was waiting for Silk Song to come out. But surprised that Bellator wasn't nominated for Game of the Year again. I sure hope not, man. It had its spotlight. It didn't win, but it had its spotlight, and I think that's great on its own. But yeah, Hollow Knight is currently performing better than Silk Song, as we're seeing that Hollow Knight is doing roughly an average of 14 gems, with its most recent value being 16.98 gems. Obviously, it reached its peak score is lower. The recorded peak score is lower than Silk Song's, which is, a good sign. It just has an overall higher average. Once again, this is due to the popularity of a lot of people wanting to play Hollow Knight while they were waiting for Silk Song to come out. So seeing as though the peak value for Hollow Knight right before Silk Song was roughly 70, it makes sense that Silk Song itself wasn't as high as we maybe all anticipated it to be. But we don't have that value down. I would have to I'll have to check it, and then hopefully Ernesto from the future will add it and add a little note in post talking about this. But let's look at the last nominee for Game of the Year, which is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Do we have? Yep, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is currently in 124th place in the gaming marketplace, and it's seeing roughly an average score of 15 gems with a peak value of 29 gems. We can see that it seems like it had a peak value just a couple of days ago. Maybe some people were playing it, but overall, pretty steady performance from this game. Not super big, not bad, just not as big as the others maybe. But it has sustained its average pretty well though. It's sustained its average to roughly 15 gems, as we can see here, and that 15 gems is not bad. Kingdom Come Deliverance has a pretty niche community, which is why I'm not surprised that we're not seeing such high value, like gem score values, for this game. Even when it came out, I didn't hear too much about it. Not too much not too much hype about it. Not too much, content about it online. Maybe I'm not in that. I'm not included in that niche, but I just didn't hear too much about Kingdom Come, other than the fact that people who did play it really loved it and found that it was really good. It just seems like it's not an IP that currently really has a very big following right now, like a super popular following compared to the hype that we saw with, for example, Hollow Knight, or the hype that we saw with the release of Expedition 33. So overall, I don't doubt it's a pretty good game. I've heard a lot of really good news things about this game, but it's only reached an average of 15 gems. So with taking everything into account, it was already my pick. Expedition 33 was already my pick for Game of the Year, but it seems that even the marketplace itself shows that even when we take into account the performance of every other game, the one that has withstood its performance and withstood its popularity and its player base, the best seems to be Expedition 33, as we can see here with it keeping an average gem score of 60 throughout the entire year. So I definitely think that not just me being biased and really loving Expedition 33, I think that not just by my choice, but it seems like everybody just really loves Expedition 33, and it seems like it's the one game that I think deserves Game of the Year the most. So no surprise here. No surprise here. We're going for Expedition 33. All right. Next category. So now we already analyzed a lot of these games. The only two we haven't analyzed is Split Fiction and Ghost of Yotai. award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Now, purely because of this, I think Split Fiction deserves it. I love what Expedition 33 did, and I think that it really did good in revolutionizing the turn-based genre and showing that the turn-based genre can be way more than what we're used to with traditional JRPGs. I think that it definitely did something really good here, but I do think that Split Fiction had due to the nature of how Split Fiction works, it basically had the player go through so many different type of innovative game designs and overall while keeping the story really well, keeping that co-op experience to be top tier and people enjoying it no matter where you are in the gaming spectrum, whether you're a really good player or you're a casual or somebody who barely plays video games. Everybody has something to enjoy with Split Fiction because of how the game was designed. So I think that because of that, my personal choice here would be to vote for Split Fiction in regards to its creative vision and innovation, because I think that a lot of it, what it did and how innovated on a lot of different the different mini games and the different segments of the story were really good. Hey, just enter. What's your game of the year? I just finished voting for it. Expedition 33. I just voted for Expedition 33 as game of the year, and I was just talking about how Expedition 33 is also, compared to all the games in that list, Expedition 33 is the highest rated game in according to Gem Score that we have in the market. So not only do I love Expedition 33 and I'm kind of biased on it, but the data shows that Expedition 33 is also the more popular option. So Expedition 33 for me, that's what I chose for game of the year. We're looking at best game direction. I think Split Fiction should get this vote, but let's go ahead and see if I have Split Fiction. Let's see how well Split Fiction did this year. So from looking at Split Fiction, we can see that Split Fiction has an average of 11.8 gems, and it peaked at 15 gems, right? And this is also pretty common, pretty good. This is why this game maybe wasn't a contender for game of the year, but it's still seeing average numbers equal to the other games that are stated for game of the year. So this just shows how good this game is and how good it was for everybody in the entire spectrum of the gaming industry, right? So I think that Split Fiction, really good game. I think that Split Fiction should have been at least a nominee as one of the games of the year, purely because of how broad in scope and the amount of people that could enjoy the game compared to other games in the nominees list that we saw before. But I still think that it was a really good game. It's having average gem scores equal to that of other game of the year nominees. So that just shows you how great this game is. And if you haven't played it, which I haven't myself, but I really want to play it. If you haven't played it, I highly suggest you play it. I've heard a lot of good things from other people who have been playing this game. Regardless, right now, it has a gem score of roughly 14 gems. So overall, really good performance for Split Fiction, especially since it's an indie game. Actually, if we take a look at, let's open this guy. Our top indie games. Let's see where Split Fiction lies, right? Because we're looking at all games, right? This is where it's at in the market, according to all games, whoa, what happened there? According to all games, including AAA games, right? But here is just indie games, and if we take a look at just indie games, we can see that Split Fiction. Why is it not in this list? Oh, maybe it doesn't even land. No, it should have landed. Maybe it's not. Oh, right, because it's not considered an indie. Yeah. Night Rain, still a lot of people play it. A lot of streamers do a lot of content about it. It's still extremely popular, especially those that love playing Dark Souls. They want to play Dark Souls with their friends. This is the solution for playing Dark Souls with your friends. Souls-like with your friends. Regardless, Split Fiction is not considered an indie game. I forgot. It's not. It's actually a AAA game. So that's why it's not on this list. Regardless, the next game we should check is Thank you. Split Fiction is EA, so it's not a indie game. That's why it wasn't appearing in the top indies. But it once again, it's currently at, what was it, 152nd place. It's currently a higher place than some other video game of the year nominees. Now, what was the other one? Ghost of Yotai. Let's see if I have that one. Ghost of... No, I just have Ghost of Tsushima. So I don't have any data from Ghost of Yotai, which came out not too long ago. And although I've heard really good things about it, I haven't heard too much about it compared to how much Ghost of Tsushima exploded. So I'm not surprised that it's not one of the Game of the Year nominees. Regardless, I think that for game direction, I definitely think Split Fiction wins this one. I think that they did a lot for it, and I think it's a great game for anybody to be able to pick up and just have fun playing it. So I'm going to give this one to Split Fiction. Let's see the next category. So, Best Narrative. I want to play Jotai so bad. I have never played it. I haven't even played Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't know. But I would have, if I played Jotai, I would play Ghost of Tsushima first. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in game, I've seen a lot of gameplay from Silent Hill F. Let me see if I have data from it. I do not have Silent Hill F here. I've seen a lot of like good things about Silent Hill F, and I've seen people play it and everything. I don't know. I didn't play it myself, so I can't say for sure, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not a Silent Hill kind of guy. I haven't played both those games. Yeah. You should, though, play Expedition 33 if you haven't played. Really good. Me voting for Expedition 33 every chance I get. In this case, it's going to Expedition 33. And this might be my bias, but the story and storytelling in Expedition 33 was just so good. So good. Like, there's no contender for me when it comes to story other than Expedition 33. So that's getting my vote here. Next category. So, Best Art Direction, Outstanding Creative and Technical Achievement in Artistic Design and Animation. I understand why Hollow Knight is here and why Hades 2 is here, but if you ask me, Hollow Knight Silksong didn't add anything to its already, like, its design, right? Like, it's really good for a Hollow Knight game, and we love Hollow Knight's artistic, view and everything, but I don't think this one, Silksong, really pushed beyond what Hollow Knight already was. I just think that they did what they were good at, and that's pretty much it. They didn't add more to the art style or anything like that, more effects to the game to make it more appealing to the eye or prettier. I think they just stayed with what they had, which is still really good. There's nothing wrong with the art style with Hollow Knight, but I just don't think that it really pushed the envelope enough to win Best Art Direction. Hades 2, I think, suffers from the same thing. I don't think it did anything major or anything different in order to really shine compared to Hades 1. They're the same art style. I don't think it kind of stayed with its art style, and there's nothing wrong with it. Pretty good art style, but it's faithful to its franchise. I don't think it pushed the envelope on anything. Ghost of Yotai, I don't know. I have not played it. I have not seen much about Ghost of Yotai. I'm not doubting that it looked pretty, that it looked beautiful, but I am biased. I'm going for Expedition 33. It's just the pedals, the characters, the world, everything was just so creative, so unique that it has to go for Expedition 33. Expedition 33 needs this one because damn, them graphics were beautiful. That's why I'm not voting for graphics though, because Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding have really good graphics. It's the art design. Like, it's not just the graphics, how they made such a realistic world look so good, so beautiful. I voted for Hades purely because I love the art style and the way interactions feel, but it's literally the same formula as Hades 2, Hades 1, exactly. I also did, so I can say I didn't fully shill for Expedition 33, and that's perfectly fair. All right, so best score and music. You've already heard me rant about this. I think that on the Grammys, Expedition 33 soundtrack should have been in the Grammys, should have been nominated for video game music in the Grammys, and I think it should have won because everybody loves Expedition 33. It was so good. It was just amazing. And I'm even compared to all the games that are in the, these are basically all the Game of the Year nominees, not including Yotai. Expedition 33, man. It's just so good. I generally would stop and just listen to Expedition 33's soundtrack while I did work, while I was driving, while I was doing any other stuff. Like, there's nothing better than this soundtrack. So Expedition 33 also gets it. Graphics doesn't equal art. Exactly. Thank you, Sam. All right. Best audio design. How is it that first-person shooter games always end up in like best audio design? I know that like they make the guns sound realistic and all these kinds of things, but oh, dude, that's so true. If Arc Raiders was in best audio design, I would have given it to them. I would have definitely given it to them. The sound design for Arc Raiders, the sounds of the robots, the sounds of your gun shooting and everything is so crisp. I don't doubt that Battlefield 6 also has it, but it's I feel like at this point I know what a gun sounds like, and every single gun in any game sounds the same to me. Like a Battlefield game and like Call of Duty, the guns, the sound of those guns, I feel like they just, you know, there's only so much you can innovate in audio design when it comes to just how the gun sounds, right? I once again haven't played Silent Hill or Ghost of Yotai enough or at all for me to be able to say that the sound design for those were good or bad. Nor have I played Death Stranding. So for me, kind of biased, I know, but we're going to Expedition 33 as well because I loved everything about this game. It just deserves it, man. It's just so good. From day one, I've been saying this is game of the year. This is game of everything. Like, it's so good. Everything about it was so great. Best performances awarded to individuals for voice acting, voice over acting, motion, and performance capture. Okay, so Troy Baker. No. I can already feel the heat of the flames my grandfather's PC is gonna be if I played these games. So for a lot of these, yes. Oh, dude, you're giving me Charlie Cox. Dude, Gustav is just... Gustav was so good. His Gustav was just too good. And you also have from Expedition 33, we have 3. Oh god, we have like the main cast here. We're not including Luna here. I believe I'm gonna check just to make sure, but I believe this is Mel. This is this one is doing I can't believe I forgot their names. Can't believe I forgot their names. Verso. Voice Critical isn't in this boat. Nah, Voice Critical was not gonna win it for this patch. I'm sorry. There was just too good other. Oh, actually, I don't think this patch counts for this Game Awards. You might see it for the next one. Yeah, Mal, Gustav and Verso. Yep. So who deserves it more? Verso, Gustav, and Mael. It's a toughie. It's a big toughie. I'm just gonna say, Mael's like suffering. Like her acting is so good. When the voice cracks that she has when different things happen to her, and how real her character feels. I'm being vague here because Sans has not played this game and I don't want to spoil things too much. But like Gustav though, I love Gustav so much and Verso so much too. Damn, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. If they had given me one of the Expedition 33 characters, I like voice actors, I would have given it to them immediately. But every interaction that Gustav had felt like a real, genuine conversation. I agree. But I feel like the same thing falls with Mael. And I loved all of Verso's lines with Eskia. No, not well. Yeah, with Eskia. Eskia was a lot, but like, with the other one, I forgot. And I didn't realize it was Charlie Cox until way after chapter 1. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm in between. I love Verso. Don't get me wrong. I really loved Verso, but I am in between these two. We only get him for like the first act, which is why it's like, ooh. I'm gonna give it to Mael. I'm gonna give it to Mael because we see way more emotional range with Mael and her voice acting when through all the different scenes that we see through the story. Even though Verso also deserves it, I think that Mael just had way more range, and Gustav also deserves it. We have to vote for one of them. She sounds exactly the same as her other roles. Oh, I don't know. I guess I haven't considered. I don't know Jennifer English as what other roles she's done. So, I just going by how her acting was in this game, which I think was just splendid. All right, next category. I had to vote for somebody. It was a hard decision, but I had to vote for somebody. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward in adding feature, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by even wider audiences. Interesting. Because I have no idea what any of these guys did to make it be more innovative and accessible. Right? Like, I played the Dark Ages, and I don't know what they did to make it more accessible, but like, I'm not the person you would ask for this. Like, I don't have any issues that I would need accessibility for me to be able to enjoy. So it's a toughie. And add to that I have not played any of these other games. Add that to the mix. You think Mario Kart World should have been innovating and accessible? I don't think I mean, Mario Kart World is not bad by any means, but it's pretty much just Mario Kart. It didn't I don't think it pushed the needle when at least in terms of accessibility. I don't think it pushed the needle much. And like, it's really good in what it added, but even like, I think Sonic Racing has done more innovation than Mario Kart World. At this point, do a wheel spin for it. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's go. What we're gonna do? I have no idea. I don't play these games. The only one I played is Doom: The Dark Ages, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna vote purely by their gem score if I have their gem. So let's see. Assassin's Creed. Do I have Assassin's Creed? They have auto steer, auto acceleration, and auto use item. Yes, but that's kind of the same thing that Mario Kart Ultimate, like, is it whatever the 8, the one that came out for the Switch, no normal Switch. Like it didn't add anything to that. Mario Kart already had that. Like the auto steering, the auto acceleration already existed. It's not something that they just innovated on in this with this iteration. It's Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Creed. I don't have Shadows, it seems. Okay. Let's put Shadows just in case. No. Okay, so I don't have Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I go to Atomfall. Do I have Atomfall? I don't have Atomfall either. Yeah, I don't have Atomfall either. Doom the Dark Ages, I should definitely have. Doom the Dark Ages, there it is. What place is it? 214th place. Not seeing, it's seeing 6 gems on average. Not doing that bad. I saw a peak of 86, similar to some of the Game of the Years contenders. And then let's see, EA Sports. I feel like EA Sports is the exact same game with slight modifications every year. So I don't think that they are innovating in anything particular. I don't have 2026. And then South of Midnight. Let's see if I have that one. I don't have that one either. All right. So, and I might have it, but it's not in the top 1,000. It's not listed in the top 1,000. So that's why we're not seeing it in the list. So, why not use that big Excel sheet for the game selections for tomorrow's stream? You had used. I could probably put it up. Put up the selection. I don't want to. I'm using the website because it's a lot easier and more visual for everybody. But let's see how they're doing in regards to if I can find their score, if I have them at all. Let's see this Excel sheet. Let's see if I find it. Give me a sec in that case. Let's go for marketplace. Takes a bit for it to load. It's a large Excel sheet, as you already know. Okay. Thank you, Random Pixelated, for resubscribing for 2 months now. Let's go. You're the GOAT. I'll eventually be able to take that money out of the thing. We'll see. But for now, let's see here. Let's see. So from what I'm seeing, let's do a control find. All right. We have control find. I don't have to be so specific for this one. Like so case sensitive. That's the thing for the control find thing. Okay, you don't want to search? You don't want to do the search? It's not popping up. Why is it not popping up? Oh, yeah, there you go. Different language, different buttons. I have to change it back to English. Let's see here. So we're looking for South of Midnight. Do I have it? I do have it, and it's currently in 2,109th place in the entire marketplace, which is why it doesn't exist in the website. Because I only have the top 1,000 games in the website. It currently has a score of 0.24 gems. So there's that. Let's check Assassin's Creed. Go. Creed. Push got freedom. Odyssey. Origins, Valhalla, Unity, Remastered, Syndicate, Creed 2, Mirage, Revelations, Director's Cut. Yeah, I just don't have Shadows in this list at all. And let's check for Atomfall. Is it all together? Yeah, Atomfall. Search for you. Do you exist? I do have it. And it's currently in... So Atomfall is currently in 1,167th place in the gaming marketplace, which is also why it's not included in the website, with its most recent value being 0.7 gems. And let's see if I have, considering I could see EA Sports fiscal like football whatever for 2024 and 2025. I'm assuming that just I don't have 2026. That's what I'm assuming. Yep, that's exactly it. I just don't have 2026. And then we already saw the other two. Okay, so well, according to, once again, if we're voting purely from gem score, Doom the Dark Ages ends up getting it. So let's give it to Doom the Dark Ages. Losers hop on that. Crazy. All right. So, did you get? Is it flagged? It seems like Twitch is it Twitch flagging it for you? Let's see. Might be Twitch flagging it. That'd be really funny. I didn't like the word loser. No, it's just flagging it because you just you sent that message a little bit after resubscribing. Nice. You should find a way to optimize stuff on the site so that you could fit more gem scores into the site. It's not a matter of like finding ways to optimize. It's a matter of paying. The way I could optimize the site to like include more gems and more games is by literally just paying servers more to be able to withstand the database and everything, which unfortunately I do not have money right now. But if you want me to expand the website, all you gotta do is follow and subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitch, follow me on Twitch, or go to the website, visit the website, give it attention, give it to your friends, spread the word. That's another way you can support me, and then hopefully from that I'll be able to actually be able to pay more money to make the website better and have it be more efficient to hold more games. It actually was forcing me to share because if I didn't, it wouldn't go away. Gotcha. All right. So, games for impact, for thought-provoking games with pro-social meanings and or messages. Once again, I don't know about Self Midnight. We already checked its score. It's pretty low. Let's check in indie games. Let's see if we have any of these games, which I don't assume. I haven't really heard of them. Consume. Yeah, we don't have anything for consume. Do we have anything for Despelote? Despelote. Nope, nothing for Despelote. At least not in the top 1,000. Lost Records. I don't know if that's indie. I'm assuming it's indie. Lost Records. We have it right here. Lost Records Bloom and Rage. So currently Lost Records Bloom and Rage is 170 what was it? 174th 744th place in the market, at least in the indie games market, and it sees an average gem score of 0.26 with a peak gem score of 0.59, which we see right here. But overall, it seems like that's one of the games that we have here. Not a bad score at all. It currently has a gem score of 130. 0.30. Once again, not a bad gem score for an indie game, especially since it's an indie game I've never heard of myself. And then Wonderstop. Love Bloom and Rage. So you've played it? Is it Wander or Wander? No, it's Wander. Okay, so I don't have that one either. Let's see if I can find it here. So let's go for Wander. Here. Wonderstop. So Wonderstop is currently overall in the market at 3,487th place, and it has a gem score of 0.084 gems. And Despelote has it's currently in 8,000th place, and it has a gem score of 0.0078 gems. And the other one is Consume Me. Oh, I made a typo. Yeah, I gotta wait for it to finish. Yeah. Now let's try to find it. Consume Me. Do I have it? It doesn't seem like I do. Okay, so I don't have Consume Me. But if we're looking at purely just from their gem score, right? What was it? Stuff of Midnight. If we're looking purely from gem score, I think Lost Records takes the cake. Yeah. Lost Records takes the cake. We saw it here. Lost Records. So we're going to give it to Lost Records, considering that they had a higher peak and they're in the top 1,000 indie games out there. So we're going to give it to them. I have not played this game, but I apparently Random has played it, so seems nice. Same people as Life is Strange. Ah, that's why. Gotcha. Wonderstop is really cute, and I'm highly contemplating playing it. Interesting. It didn't have a bad gem score. It just it just didn't reach the top 1,000 games in the market, indie games in the market. But I don't doubt that it's a good game, that it's a fun game, especially if it appears here being nominated. Keep in mind I haven't played any of these games that have been nominated. That's not surprising. I mean, a lot of these games can be pretty niche. You think it's on sale on Steam right now? I wouldn't be surprised if they put most of the games that are nominees on sale. That wouldn't be surprising. Okay, best ongoing game. Awards for the game's outstanding development and ongoing content that evolves players' experience over time. I cannot... Helldivers might deserve it nowadays, because Helldivers has actually listened to this community. Although they are in a bit of a pickle recently again, because they were making some balance changes that people didn't like. But other than that, they've come a long way from the issues that they were having when the game was originally released last year. Fortnite, I mean, Fortnite is Fortnite. People love Fortnite. I already know what you voted for. Yeah, you probably voted for Marvel Rivals. You probably voted for Marvel Rivals, which it's not a bad option. No Man's Sky, I think No Man's Sky at some point in previous years deserved the best ongoing, but I think that this year they haven't added a lot. They've done really well. A lot of people love No Man's Sky, but I feel like I haven't really heard much new stuff from No Man's Sky that would warrant it winning the best ongoing, right? Not that that they've done anything wrong with the game, but the recognition for best ongoing, I think it deserved it in previous years when it was really like ramping up the game and adding a lot of things and fixing a lot of the issues that the community had back in the day. But I wouldn't give it best ongoing today. I think best ongoing today, I would have to give it to Marvel Rivals, even though Helldivers has done a good amount of really nice things. Final Fantasy 14. I know a lot of people who really love playing Final Fantasy 14, but I don't see anything super special about it. And then Fortnite. Fortnite is Fortnite. People love Fortnite. at this point, for me, Fortnite is just good because it has a bunch of IP and a lot of money in it. I don't think that Fortnite itself has done. I can't say that they haven't done anything innovating. They've added a lot of mini games and stuff like that. But I think Fortnite is just becoming a sandbox game. It's becoming the new Roblox. Um, so like a lot of people are adding their own games into the mix. Uh, so yeah, didn't Marvel Rivals release this year? It did, and but this is not asking about whether it released this year. It's asking whether it's best ongoing, and that Marvel Rivals falls under that category because it's a live service game, right? It's a game for service, I guess is how they call it nowadays. I'll be making a video on that. I'll be making a video on what's the difference between like live service games and normal games and how they should be compared to each other. They should not be compared in equally to each other. It released this time last year. Gotcha. So it's been a year from now since it got out. It's still doing pretty strong. A lot of people still love playing this game. They keep adding more characters. I think they've been doing really well with their balance patches. I don't see anything super big or wrong about this game. The only reason I don't play Marvel Rivals is because I know that if I play Marvel Rivals, I'll get as addicted as I did when I played it when it came out, and I just don't have the time to dedicate to it. But I think Marvel Rivals is honestly really good for this case. I do, however, I think Marvel Rivals does deserve it to a certain degree, but I want to give my vote to Helldivers 2. Mostly because Helldivers 2 has improved a lot from a lot of it. I made a whole video about how Helldivers 2 was kind of going down and under. And it was, I would say, at risk of just being canceled altogether, or like being shut down. But I think they listened to the community, and I think they changed a lot of things for the better. And I think that because of that, I believe they should be commended as one of, for at least for a vote on my end. So I'll give it to Helldivers 2. They're doing an anniversary event next week. Ooh. Isn't live service games just games that force you to be online in every part of the game? So it's not just that it forces you to be online. It's a game that is always online. But we can go more into detail. I'll go more into detail later on. But basically, live service is the type of game where, like Marvel Rivals, like Final Fantasies, or like a lot of MMOs, it's a game that just continues, right? Like it doesn't have a end to it. It's not a full game in the sense that it's not you start and you finish and you're done with the game. You're never playing it again, or you're playing it if you want to do achievements, but it's a story and then you're done with it. Live service games are basically games that are cyclical and they expect you to come back every single season, right? In this case, every single quarter, to play the game. It's a game that wants you to basically always be playing it and not playing anything else, because it's a service. You're basically doing a subscription to that game, similar to how you would pay a subscription for World of Warcraft, right? And all these type of MMOs, right? It's live service in the sense that they're always changing, they're always adding new things. There's no end in sight. Call of Duty would be considered a live service game nowadays. I agree. Yes. Before it wasn't. Nowadays it does fall under it, and it's all because the whole Game Pass formula, the whole having a new season every single having new content every single season, giving you reasons to come back and play their game, and just vying for your attention the entire time. So yes, the Call of Duty falls under that umbrella. Best community support, recognizing the game and outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive and social media activity, and game update patches. I think has Baldur's Gate. Why is Baldur's Gate here? I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody loves Baldur's Gate. And I don't think there's been anything wrong with Baldur's Gate, but I don't see why they would win, like community support. I don't know what how much they've added to the game since since it released. You know, I'm gonna go to your previous one. I'm gonna change my vote because I voted on Helldivers in best ongoing because of this, of best community support. So I'm gonna give Marvel Rivals I'm gonna switch my vote. Marvel Rivals is gonna have the best ongoing, and Helldivers 2 I think deserves the best community support because of everything I mentioned previously. Uh Not gonna lie, collabs kind of killed the gaming industry, not content creation. I agree to a certain degree. Live service games in particular, it's all about collab. And that's depending on what you're looking at it, then yes. But like Fortnite is just an IP farm at this point. Which is there's nothing inherently wrong with it, I guess. But it's like Fortnite was not able to keep people interested with their unique IP. So the way they keep bringing people and keeping people in their game is by having other people's IP into their game. Best independent game for outstanding creatives and technical achievement in game mode. In a game mode outside of traditional publishing systems. I have to give this one to Blueprints. Absolum, that came out recently. I'm surprised that it falls under. I'm surprised that Ball Pit and Absolum fall under this this year, like this year's umbrella, because they did come out rather recently. But maybe they're still in the time frame because Silk Song is here, so maybe they came out around September, which is when a lot of these games were coming out, especially indie games. But I will say that although I like what Ball Pit did, it was a very unique concept, and I like how this game innovated on the beat 'em up genre. Blueprints is a completely new. It's a completely new. Wait, best independent game. Are they saying best indie game here? Is that what they're saying? What's the best indie game? Yeah, outside of traditional publisher. Oh, this is just best indie game. That's a toughie. That's a toughie. I would like to give my vote to. I want this to be game of the year. I think that it's great, and I love that it's an indie game, and I love it. But just by saying game of the year, I think this is. I did my part with Expedition 33. I do want to vote for Blueprints because of how innovative it was and how it's very unique and it's so good. Silk Song also really deserves it. I think that Silk Song shows how the success of like indie games genre as a whole, really highlighting like breaking records and like highlighting what how indie development should be. So I'm kind of in a crossroads here. I'm really in a crossroads. I love all these games, and you know I'm a big fan of indie as a whole. Imagine going against a monolith that is Expedition 33. I agree, but I don't want to. Although Expedition 33 is an indie game, and I know that it's like it should. I'm not trying to say it's AAA because at all it isn't. It's just AAA quality, I guess we could call it that. Even though AAA quality nowadays is kind of controversial and not necessarily put in a good lighting. I think saying AAA quality is the equivalent of you saying military grade. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. But damn. The fact that the three of these options are also game of the year contenders. Yes, dude. These three. This three. If I really want to give it to Blueprints, I really do. I'm torn because I really want to give it to Blueprints, but I think that if Expedition 33 wins Game of the Year, I think Silk Song deserves Best Indie. That's just my take on it. But I really love the concept of Blueprints. I think it really did what it did very well. Silk Song had such a big impact in the community, in indie games as a whole. It's hard not to say indie. let it be known that I love Blueprints, and I think Blueprints deserves this as much as Silk Song or Hades 2 or Expedition 33. But I think I'm gonna go for Silk Song just because of its impact. Let's see here. Best debut indie game. Best debut created by independent. Okay, there we go. Dispatch falls for this? I didn't think Dispatch was gonna like fall under this. I guess the final chapter recently came out, but the game has been out for didn't it come out in October? Didn't the first chapter come out like literally just a couple weeks ago in October? I'm surprised that it's being considered for this year's. I thought it wasn't gonna fall. Yeah, October 22nd. I thought that in October you're already too late. Maybe November is the cutoff date if you release in November, and October is like the last bit. But I think that's a little bit unfair to be putting Dispatch with everybody else, because Dispatch was also really good. If Dispatch were followed, if Dispatch were given for next year's what'd you call it, Game Awards, I feel like it would have won way more awards, including voice actors. I think the voice actors should be getting more credit. Arc Raiders was October 30th. Yeah, dude. What's the cutoff date? I don't know what the cutoff date is. Let me check. Maybe I can check. Is it in the about? What is it? Let's see. Maybe frequently asked questions. Go stream when expect to attend the Game Awards award process. Selected by voting. Okay. Our voting outlets. Free cutoff date. Okay, there we go. Cutoff dates. Okay, this year are from November 21st, 2025, all the way. Wait, anything before November 21st, 2025? Holy, that's like not that long ago. Any games that were released on or after November 2022, 2024 are still eligible for this year's. Huh. Okay. Damn, I'm surprised that Dispatch didn't have any of these actors. Of their actors fall under like Best Actor awards. I feel like there were a lot of really good ones. That's 2 days from now. Oh, so we haven't even. Wait, how do we have? That's not fair. That's not fair. You're right. Like, it's 2 days. How can you release the nominees and have the cutoff date be after the nominees have already been announced? That doesn't make sense to me. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Doesn't make sense to me at all. I feel like some of these games are getting done dirty. I'm not organizing this event. You know, whatever. But if I'm to give best debut indie game, Dispatch is really good, but I have to give it to Blueprints. I have to give it to Blueprints. It's not best indie game, but it's all. But Expedition 33 was a debut. It's crazy. Oh my god. Why do people not know how to do things properly when it comes to timing? This is a hard choice. These three are hard choices. Once again, I'm gonna give it the same treatment. Expedition 33 already won. It's gonna, like, for me in my head, it won Game of the Year. I don't want to give it, like, I want to give some attention to other games that really deserve it. I have not played Dispatch, but I know a lot of people love Dispatch, and I really want to play it. And Blueprints as well. And the fact that this is also a debut is crazy, because these two games were really good. But I want to give it to, honestly, I'm gonna give it to Blueprints. I think that Blueprints did so well with what it did. I didn't give it to Dispatch exclusively because they have such huge backing, like Critical Role and Old Telltale. Yeah, you're right. Like, they had it's not a debut of an I mean, technically it's a debut still, but once again, if they had presented these Ad Hoc is basically a return of Telltale. Okay, I see. then I agree. I agree with the statement, and I'm more happy with my choice. Once again, if they had put this batch for next year, then I think it would have been more a more better option for, like, it would have won more awards by next year. But it sucks. Best mobile games. I'm gonna be honest. I don't play many mobile games. I really don't. Persona? There's a Persona mobile game? I didn't even know that. Destiny Rising. I have a friend that really loves it. People love Destiny Rising. I'm not surprised the NetEase Games is here. Sonic Rumble. I've seen a lot of ads for Sonic Rumble. I have not played it myself. I'm gonna have to give it to Amamusume, because Amamusume was such a cultural hit when it got popular, right? Like, so many content creators, so many people were playing Amamusume. But I think Amamusume, as far as like mobile games go, is a sleeper hit this year. So I'm gonna give it to Umamusume. Umamusume, you get it. And the memes that came out of it, like, I think it had a better cultural impact. Best VR or AR game. I do not have VR or AR right now, so I cannot play any of these games, and I wouldn't know any of these games whatsoever. I'll check and see if they're even in the here. Nope, not here. What about Arcane? No. What about Ghost Town? Is in the top. I haven't heard any. They're not gonna be in the top. What am I thinking? They're not gonna be in the top. VR games are usually not in the top of these. VR games are usually not in the top of these things, because they're very niche stuff. But yeah, that's what I thought. The Midnight Walk. Let me check in the over here in my database. Do I have Alien Rogue Incursion? Yes, I do, and it's currently really low. Once again, I'm not surprised. It's really low. It's basically 0. It has a gem score of 0. Let's see Arcane Age. Let's see. No, not that one. Arcane VR. That's not it. No. Oh, there you go. It's... Oh, I lost it for a second. It's currently also 0. It also has a score of 0. Ghost Town. 0 gems. Once again, these I'm not surprised, because they are very niche. VR games are very niche as a whole, as a genre in general. So I'm not surprised at all by this. Ghost Town. Okay, I don't have Ghost Town. What about Marvel? Marvel. Galaxy. Avengers. Marvels. Okay, so I don't have Deadpool one and the Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk is 0.02 gems. So going purely by the VR game with the highest gem value, it seems like the Midnight Walk has gotten way better traction compared to the others. Currently placing it at the top. It's currently at 5,694th place in the gaming marketplace. Let me see if I can find it in indie, just in case. I doubt it, but let's see. Is it here? No, it's not in the top 1,000 in the game. All right. So with that said, yeah, it's gonna be. I think just purely going out of gem value, I'm gonna go with the Midnight Walk. Oh man, no FNAF Help Wanted 2. And once again, I already covered it in the FNAF video, but Help Wanted 2, I barely heard anything at all about it. So I'm not surprised that it's not here. I'm gonna give it to Midnight Walk. I hope that, and they seem to be an indie game, so, and they're the indie developer, so I hope that they're doing good. Okay, best action game. The best game in the action genre focus primarily on combat. Focus primarily on combat. Let me give you a sec. So if we're looking primarily on combat, I would have to choose Hades too. If I'm being completely honest, the combat mechanics for Hades 1 was really good, and they've done the same thing with Hades 2. I did see some Ninja Gaiden 4 love recently. I saw some people really loving Ninja Gaiden 4. So that should deserve some praise. But I feel like for the top contenders, I didn't vote for any of the other. I haven't voted for. I have voted for every other Game of the Year nominee except Hades 2, and I think Hades 2 deserves it. So let's give it action, even though it's the same thing as Hades 1. I think that it's still good. I don't think Doom the Dark Ages did anything special either. Battlefield 6, don't think they did anything better. I think they're all pretty standard. I don't know about Shinobi though. So we'll just go with Hades 2. Let's see here. Best action and adventure game. There we go. Games combining combat and traversal and puzzle solving. I know a lot of people love Indiana Jones. Everybody loved when Indiana Jones came out. It's loved by many. I know that that's the case. But I'm neither an Indiana Jones fan, nor did I play the game. So I don't really care. And Death Stranding 2 is the same thing as Death Stranding 1, which is just walking simulator. So if I'm gonna give this to anybody, best action adventure, it would either be Hollow Knight, like Silksong, or Split Fiction. And considering that Hollow Knight is such a big thing, and it's like a based Metroidvania type of thing, I would have to give it to Silksong. Just because how big it is. Let's see here. Best RPG. Okay, role playing. Player character customization and progress, including Expedition 33. Ooh, Monster Hunter Wilds here. Monster Hunter Wilds mention. Crazy. Monster Hunter Wilds is really good for a Monster Hunter game, even though it has a lot of issues, which I'll be covering in my next video. Which will be coming out hopefully sometime. It's probably gonna come out early December. But Monster Hunter Wilds, I really love playing it. I would not consider it an RPG though. Massively multiplayer experiences. Since when does RPG include massive multiplayer experiences? All right. Regardless, I do want to give Monster Hunter Wilds some love. I really do, but I think that they fumbled the bag in a lot of ways. Capcom fumbled the bag in many ways. Yeah, exactly. But as an RPG, I don't think it really matches. I think that Expedition 33 wins this one by a mile because it's basically modern Western JRPG done right. And it's an innovative like RPG and really innovating the RPG genre, turn-based RPG. So I have to give it to Expedition 33. I don't want to give it everything to Expedition 33, but I think Expedition 33 does deserve it. We're going to give it to Expedition 33. Best fighting game. I've been meaning to play 2XKO. I have not been able to. I don't play Capcom. I have not played Fatal Fury. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, have not played it. And it's a Legacy Collection, so it just has everything older games, so I don't think it should count here. And Virtual Fighter 5, I have also not played. I'm not a big fighting game guy. But if I would have to choose one, if I had to choose, I think I'm just gonna go for Riot Games 2XKO because I think that they've been doing really good for like I didn't expect them to do such a good fighting game from what the content I've seen. So I think it deserves it. And I frankly just don't know any of these other guys. So we're gonna go for 2XKO for the popular name. Let's see. Next one is best family game. Okay, so two Lego games, crazy. Mario Kart is here. There you go, Sans. You were asking for Mario Kart. There's Mario Kart World. There's the new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I've heard so many good things about. It seems like it's a really good game. We have Hatsune Miku here. We have Minecraft here. Like, come on. Mario don't got none of that. Mario don't got none of that. The Lego Party game, I haven't played it, but I've seen content about it, and I've been wanting to play it. Fun fact, if you weren't here for the previous news cycle, the news recap last week, Netflix now has Lego Party in its next Netflix games section. So you can play Lego Party with your phone, which is very interesting. I've been contemplating on doing it on doing that myself as well and playing it on my phone just to try it out before I buy the game. But if we're talking best family game, that's a hard one. I for family play, I don't think a single player game would be best for family. If you ask me, if we're talking about like best for family, I would just have to say it's anything that's gonna be fun playing with your family, right? And Bonanza is a single player game, so I'm gonna count that out. That doesn't count. I believe Voyeur is like a co-op game, but it's and maybe like it does have its good parts. But if I'm gonna give it to a Lego game, it would probably be Lego Party. Mario Kart World, although they did a lot of things that are very nice with Mario Kart World, it's just another Mario Kart game. I think Sonic Racing has done a lot of good things. Do I consider it a family game, like that kind of game? I don't think so. I think that it's either split fiction, so like you can play like couples can play it together and stuff like that. If there's any party game for families that don't have kids, split fiction would be for them. And if you want party games with the whole family, I think Lego Party takes it. So it depends on your family's composition. DK has some co-op. I didn't know that it had co-op, but I think it wouldn't be enough. Like I think that I still think that these two games are better for I think the family title, right? I mean, Mario Kart, you have like it's Mario Kart. It's you're always gonna be able to play it with your family. Mario Kart, I think that's fair. But if we're talking about like what's new and I think deserves it, I think it would either be Lego Party or Split Fiction. I voted for Split Fiction earlier. I'm gonna give Lego Party some love, even though it's basically a Mario Party with a Lego umbrella on it. But I feel like families could play it, and it's in the Netflix game, so it gets more flexibility for more families to be able to play it. And once again, it all depends on the size and composition of your family. But I think this one fits for everybody, so I'm gonna go with Lego Party on this one. Best strategy game. Okay, simulation or strategy game. Now we're getting into something interesting. So I've seen The Alters. I have not played The Alters. I don't know anything about 2 Point Museum. I don't know anything about Tempest Rising, although it looks very interesting. I do know a lot about Civ 7, and unfortunately, Civ 7 has had a lot of controversy, and not a lot of people don't like Civ 7, so I'm sorry. As much as I love the Civ franchise, Civ 7 is not going to get the best strategy game. Not for this year. I'm sorry. Jurassic World Evolution, so I'm assuming this is just like Jurassic, like the Jurassic Park, like you can have it in the phone game, you have it in PC as well. It's just a third iteration of that, which I don't think it's bad. Those games usually are pretty good and pretty fun. But I don't know much about it. And Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilist Chronicles. Ivalice Chronicles, which I don't know much about either. The only game that I really know a lot about is Civ, but I don't think that they deserve it. I don't think that they deserve game of the like best strategy game of the year. So I'm gonna have to probably give it to the Altars. I'm thinking the Altars. Yeah, let's give it to the Altars. I think what the concept of their game was very interesting, and I could see how it would count for strategic, for strategy and everything. So I'm gonna give it the Altars. Next category. Website's becoming a little bit slow for some reason. Refresh. Okay, there you go. Esports. Okay, so best sports or racing game. I don't care about any of these. Rematch, I think deserves it. I think Rematch deserves it. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that these are great, but I think Rematch deserves it because I feel like this is the first soccer game that feels like a soccer game. So I'm gonna give it to Rematch. I think it really deserves it, and I think that if they should keep, they have some issues that they have to work right now towards, because there's some like exploits that people are doing that is ruining the game for a lot of people, at least competitively speaking. But if they fix those little nicks here and there, those exploits, I think this is a really good soccer game that I feel like these guys should learn from. So Rematch it is. I think that's the best sports game that has come out this year. Best multiplayer, Arc Raiders is here. Arc Raiders is here, and it wasn't nominated for it wasn't nominated for the audio, which I wish it would have been nominated. But with that said, although Arc Raiders is really good, it's a lot of fun. I would have to give this one to Peak. Oh, actually, maybe Night Rain. If we go purely from the actual I guess the if we go purely on the, what do you call it? If we are to just go purely by what the gem scores say, right? By their performance in gems, it has to be Elden, right? It has to be. If we go for Peak, which I have right here, we can see that it reached its peak was 334 gems, and on average it saw roughly 64 gems, which has gone down a lot since then, and it's currently only seeing around 3 point something gems, which goes up a little bit whenever they make, these are the updates, like these are the, I think this is the desert update, and this is the recent roots update, the new biomes that they've been adding. So they do see a little bit of an increase every so often. But if we're talking about longevity and one that has kept its role, I think Night Rain has to take it. Look at how steady it's been. It's been performing super well, steadily, staying on the 300 gem mark for such a long time. That I think, although I really enjoy Peak, me personally, I think that Elden Ring Night Rain deserves the multiplayer just because of how many people play it, how many people love it. But Arc Raiders is also a very big competition. If we look at Arc Raiders, we can see that it's 7th place, right? So we can see that right now Elden Ring is 4th place in the entire market, while Arc Raiders is currently 7th place. If we take a look at their peaks, the highest Elden Ring got was 414 gems, while Arc Raiders did get a peak of 448. So although it's not performing as well as Elden Ring Night Rain right now, right? And it might not be performing as well as it was right now. I do think, however, that because this changes my mind, because the peak is higher than Night Rain, but its average has been fluctuating a lot. I think by performance alone, we have to go for Elden Ring Night Rain. I think Elden Ring Night Rain deserves it. It's been performing very well. It's done what it's done really well, and a lot of people still play it, have a lot of fun with it. So I'll have to keep it tonight. Best adaptation. Okay. Okay. Until Dawn, really good movie. I really liked it. Really good movie, although it felt more like a Dead by Daylight movie than it did an Until Dawn movie, if I'm being completely honest. So, due to just purely because of that, I'm not considering it for best adaptation. I know a lot of people love Minecraft. I do not like Minecraft. Like, I haven't watched the Minecraft movie. Is what I want to say. Haven't watched the Minecraft movie. I didn't like how they it had to make them live action and everything. I feel like a lot of them have done better. And I know there was a lot of memes and everything, and like this is all very pop culturally popular, but not for me. Devil May Cry I have not seen, so I would not be able to give it best adaptation because I just haven't seen it and I haven't really heard much out of it. And Splinter Cell, I also haven't seen it, and I haven't heard much of it. I have to give this one to The Last of Us season 2. The reality is that the only one that I've seen from all of these is Until Dawn. But The Last of Us season 2, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people really enjoyed it. It didn't get as much hate as the second game when the game came out. I think what they've done is really well. I think they've done really good adaptation of what The Last of Us is in general. So I'm gonna have to vote Last of Us season 2 for this one. Because I am honestly don't want to vote for the Minecraft movie. So that's just me. That's just my bias. So The Last of Us season 2 gets it for me. Most anticipated game. Okay, these are games that are coming out. 007, we heard about it not too long ago. It's pretty recent. Resident Evil Requiem, a lot of people are looking forward to Resident Evil Requiem. We obviously can't forget that Grand Theft Auto 6 is a huge game. Now, here's the thing with Grand Theft Auto. GTA 6, I feel, is a game that it's currently too big to fail. Right? I think that it's an IP that so many people want to play because GTA 5 is so fun and has so many like role playing and all these features and everything that I feel like GTA 6 is probably going to win most anticipated game purely because it's such a huge game. It's too big to fail. Even if they've been having some issues during development. Marvel's Wolverine, I've heard a little bit about it. Insomniac Games is the one working on it, as you can see here. And Insomniac Games has made really good Marvel games, especially with like the Spider-Man franchise that they worked on. So I do expect this to do really well, but I just don't think that it has the same hype as GTA 6. Same thing, unfortunately, I would have to say with Resident Evil Requiem, even though we've been waiting for a Resident Evil game for a while now, especially with the last game that came out. I think it was not Village. I forgot the name of the other one. But we've been waiting for a sequel to continue the story of this new Resident Evil trilogy or not trilogy. This new Resident Evil arc, I guess we could call it. So it's very interesting. Witcher 4 is definitely a game that a lot of people have been very interested in. It's the first time we're going to play as somebody that's not Geralt, and we're going to be playing as Siri? I forgot. But I know a lot of people who are very excited for Witcher 4, but has illustrated potential to push gaming medium forward. If we're talking about purely hype and I said it right, Siri. If we're talking about purely hype and just what people are anticipating, I believe that the most anticipated game is GTA 6. What game do I really want to play out of all these? I would have to say that the game that I really want to play out of all these has to be Resident Evil Requiem. I would love to do a franchise where like a a couple of videos and streams where I'm just playing all of the recent Resident Evil games because I haven't played a single Resident Evil game ever. So I'm very interested in that and seeing how they develop it. Obviously, GTA will win, but I voted Witcher. Yeah, the other one that's very interesting. I haven't played Witcher 3, but Strategic Project Red are saying that they're making Witcher 4, ensuring that Witcher 4 does not suffer from the same things that Cyberpunk did. So it's very promising. It seems very promising from them, and they've always been really good at storytelling. So I also wouldn't be surprised. I feel like I would more likely play Witcher 4 than I am playing Witcher like Resident Evil Requiem. Mostly because I feel like I'm gonna play everything else before I get here, even though I really am interested in the Resident Evil franchise. I'm gonna vote to Witcher 4, even though I know for a fact that the most anticipated game out there is GTA 6. I'm gonna go with Witcher 4. So let's go Witcher 4. It feels like the game out of all those that I would actually pick up more when it comes out. More likely to pick up when the game actually comes out. Content creator of the year. I already know who I'm gonna vote for, and that's gonna be Peanut. I think Peanut deserves it. I haven't watched their streams. I haven't watched like their videos if they're in YouTube, but I've seen so many of their clips, and I especially in Arc Raiders and Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov. Like Peanut is such a funny guy to watch. Genuinely, such a funny guy to watch. I've been watching their clips. It's so funny. He has a great personality, and yeah, I think that he's been coming on up. He's on and up, but on the up and up, on the up again, whatever that saying is. He's been growing recently a lot, getting a lot of popularity, getting a lot of traction, and I think it's well deserved. He's a really entertaining guy, and I really love watching his clips. And I hope I probably will tune into a stream here and there in the future. But I just love what he's been doing recently. Moist Critical, I mean, he's a great guy, but he's been doing the same thing he's been doing his entire streaming career. I don't think he's done anything innovative for him to deserve Creator of the Year. Tysonat is a good option, but I think he was bigger last year than he is this year. If I'm not mistaken, I may be confusing years, but I feel like Tysonat, although really big in the streaming community, had a bigger year last year, but I don't know. I don't watch him enough to be able to say. I don't watch K-Drill. I don't watch like competitive like esport players and stuff like that. And I do watch I will say I do watch VTubers, but I have not watched anything from Sakura Miku. So Miko. Sakura Miko. So due to that, I'm gonna go Peanut. I think Peanut deserves it. Up and coming. Thank you. Up and coming. In the up and up again is what I wanted to say. Let's see. Best esports game. Okay. If I'm gonna choose an esports game, I'm gonna choose a game that Mobile Legends crazy. That has to be like really big in either like I don't know. Like, if it's not, I'm assuming that Mobile Legends is not League of Legends because we have League of Legends here. It's not like an adaptation of this. So I'm assuming this one's like a MOBA game that is very popular, probably in Asia and like Middle Eastern. That's my guess because mobile games have been becoming very popular in those regions of the world. So that's my guess there. Um, I'm not gonna choose League of Legends. If I'm gonna choose any of these, it's gonna be the one that I've been genuinely enjoying playing in the last couple of weeks, and that has to go to Valorant. I've genuinely been enjoying a lot of Valorant recently. Best esports athlete. I do not know any of these guys. Unfortunately, I do not know any of them. Because I don't watch esports, frankly. So I'm just gonna have to go for somebody that's Valorant. Since I chose Valorant, and it just choose one of these two. They both seem like they've won competitions. Because it's pretty and okay. Um, Forsaken or Brock. Just because I heard Forsaken is a name that I've heard before, and I feel like I've heard people talk about them. I'll choose Forsaken. But I don't watch enough esports to really have a favorite or anything like that. Best esports team. We're in the same situation as before. Gen G, don't know them. Energy, I do know Energy, but I don't know them. Menard is Dominican. Which one? Hispanic Pride. Let's go. Yep, Hispanic Pride, baby. Dominican, he's our neighbor. He's basically our neighbor. He has to win. I don't have any. I have no loyalties to anybody else in this in these. So we'll vote on somebody just because arbitrarily because they're their race. Sure, why not? Um, Team Liquid. I've heard a lot of Team Liquid. Team Liquid is but this is like from Mobile Legends Bang Bang specifically. That team from Team Liquid. Because Team Liquid has a bunch of teams. Team Vitality has a bunch of teams. Team Falcons. I guess these are all the ones that won last year. I'm gonna go with Energy once again, just because it's Valorant. I don't know it. I don't know any of them. I don't have any preference on any of these guys. Let's see. Okay, are we done? Player's voice. 3 round, 3 chances to vote. Okay. 3 nominees, vote for 10. What do you mean? What is this? What is this? That I can vote multiple times? What is this? Player's voice. 3 rounds, 3 chances to vote. Vote for what? What are we voting for? 3 nominees, vote for 10? What do you mean? It's a category we haven't seen yet? Is that it? What it is? I thought we could vote for everybody already. What is it, girl? What is this thing? I don't know what this is. Let's go frequently asked questions. What is player's choice? Is that what it's called? Player's voice. Mm-hmm. Player's voice. And companies made aware of nominees, winners, in advance. Do you show sponsors the advertising board members? No. Is there an entry fee? No. Let's see here. How are live service games handled? What is the cut-off date? Are voting given to advance campaigns? Why don't fans 100% select the winners? Getting 100% fan vote presents several challenges. First, given that some games are exclusive to one platform. How are winners selected? Why do you use this jury for selected nominees? Nominees are selected. What I don't know what this thing is. This player's voice thing. I don't know how I can participate in that or what it means. So if I do this, I'll just do it offline. But that's it. That's it. I've been how long have I been live? Over almost an hour now. Almost an hour. But yeah, this is what we were gonna do. Did I have anything else planned? I believe this is it. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. So we have our votings. I wish I could see all my votes. Like, why do you have to make me hover to see it? Why couldn't you make it so I could just see category and then my vote? Why do I have to? Why do I have to do this? Okay. Regardless, so I've done all my voting. I voted for everything. So we'll see how it goes down. I once again do plan on going live. It's gonna be on a Thursday, December 11th. It's gonna be the exact same day that I give news recap. So it's perfect timing for that. I usually come in live on Thursdays. I might go live earlier that day, but overall, that's kind of where we're at. Thank you so much for joining me while voting on all these guys. And is there any like see how the vote card looks? All right. So these, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. And honestly, like, those are my votes. I hope that my reasoning was enough to satisfy you. I guess it's still my preference. It doesn't. I don't really have to prove why I choose or not choose to vote for something. You could always vote for whatever it is you want. But I hope that you enjoyed some of the insight that I provided for some of these games and seeing their gem performances of some of these guys. Um, so yeah, I hope you like them, and I will see you guys when the actual event happens, and hopefully, although our votes only have 10% influence in the awards themselves, hopefully we see some of our favorite games win those awards, the games that I feel deserve it. So yeah, your opinions are not the same as mine, so I hate you now. uh, that's funny. You made a typo, thus your argument is completely invalid. Get screwed. I win. My opinion is better than yours. That's just how it is in the marketplace of ideas. You've lost. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just saying it. So I clearly have more authority than you to decide. I have more authority than you to decide what games are better. And clearly, my decisions, my opinion, is more highly intellectual and more highly valued than yours. So if you're not voting like me, you're just wrong. Regardless, that's all for today. So we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys tomorrow during our news recap. So I'll see you then. Goodbye. Bye.